Have you ever noticed that the way you speak can open doors or quietly close them? Your words can build trust, create opportunities, inspire people, and even change your future. But poor communication, it creates misunderstanding, distance, missed chances, and regret. The truth is, success is not only about what you know, it is also about how clearly you can express it. People who communicate well don't just talk better, they live better, because confidence begins with clarity. And today we're going to talk about something that can transform your relationships, your career, and your self-respect, how to improve communication skills. Because when you learn to speak with purpose, people start listening differently. Most people believe communication begins when you start speaking. But real communication begins much earlier. It begins when you choose to listen. Not just hearing words, but truly listening with your heart, your attention, and your patience. Many relationships break not because people stop loving each other, but because they stop listening to each other. A father feels unheard. A mother feels ignored. A friend feels forgotten. A spouse feels invisible. And sometimes people are not asking for solutions. They are simply asking to be understood. The problem is many people listen only to respond. While the other person is speaking, their mind is already preparing an answer, a defense, an excuse, or a judgment. That is not listening. That is waiting for your turn. True listening requires humility. It requires silence inside your mind. It requires you to set your ego aside and say, maybe there is something here I need to understand. Some of the strongest people are not the ones who speak the loudest, they are the ones who listen the deepest. Because listening is respect. When you listen carefully, you tell the other person you matter, your words matter, your feelings matter. And in a world where people are desperate to be seen, that kind of respect becomes unforgettable. Even in faith, listening holds great value. Sometimes we speak too much, complain too much, argue too much, and reflect too little. But wisdom often enters through silence. A heart that listens can learn. A heart that is always speaking remains full of itself. There are moments when someone is carrying pain so heavy they cannot explain it perfectly. They may speak with anger, with frustration, with tears. If you only react to their words, you may miss their wound. Listen beyond the sentence. Sometimes "I'm fine" means "please notice I'm not." Sometimes silence is a cry for help. Sometimes distance is disappointment that was never spoken. And if you are wise, you will learn to hear what is not being said. How many regrets in life come from not listening? A parent giving advice we ignored. A friend asking for help we dismissed. A warning we laughed at. A prayer in our own heart we kept postponing. Later, we realized the signs were there, the words were there, the truth was there. But we were too busy speaking. Listening protects relationships. It prevents unnecessary conflict. Many arguments are not caused by hatred, but by misunderstanding. One person says one thing, another person hears something completely different, and suddenly distance grows. But patience can save what pride destroys. Sometimes the most powerful words in a conversation are not words at all. It is eye contact. It is your calm presence. It is staying when someone expected you to walk away. It is saying through your attention, "I am here, I care, I am listening." People remember that. They remember who made them feel safe enough to speak. And trust is built there. If you want people to trust you, learn to listen without interrupting. Listen without trying to control the story. Listen without making everything about yourself. Not every conversation needs your advice. Sometimes people need your compassion more than your correction. This is especially true in families. Sometimes children are not being rebellious, they are feeling unheard. Sometimes parents are not being harsh, they are carrying stress they never explain. Sometimes marriages do not fail because love disappeared, they fail because understanding disappeared. And understanding begins with listening. When you listen, you gain knowledge. When you interrupt, you reveal impatience. Wise people ask questions. They do not assume. They seek clarity, because assumptions destroy peace. A simple question can save a painful misunderstanding. Are you okay? What did you mean by that? How can I support you? These small questions can heal silent battles. Never underestimate the power of making someone feel heard. Some people are fighting storms you know nothing about. A kind listener can become the reason they keep going. Maybe your patience becomes someone's comfort. Maybe your silence becomes someone's healing. Maybe your listening becomes someone's answered prayer. And one day you will also need someone who listens to you. Life has a way of humbling everyone. The strong become tired. The confident become uncertain. The helper also needs help. And when that moment comes, you will understand the value of being heard. So before you speak, pause. Before you react, listen. Before you judge, understand. Because words can impress people for a moment, but listening can change hearts for a lifetime. Many people think powerful communication means using big words, long explanations, and complicated sentences. But true communication is not about sounding intelligent. It is about being understood. Clarity is power. Confusion creates distance. Clarity creates connection. If people leave your conversation confused, your message failed even if your words sounded impressive. Simpler. The goal is not to impress people with your vocabulary. The goal is to reach their heart, their mind, and their understanding. Simple words are not weak words. They are strong words. Because simple truth travels farther than complicated language. A person who truly understands something can explain it simply. A person who hides behind complexity often hides confusion. Some people speak too much because they fear silence. Others use difficult words because they fear being underestimated. But wisdom does not need decoration. Truth does not need performance. The strongest message is often the simplest one. Thank you. I was wrong. I need help. I forgive you. I believe in you. These are simple words, but they carry the power to heal families, restore trust, and change lives. Clarity is also honesty. Say what you mean. Do not make people guess your intentions. Do not use silence as manipulation. Do not hide truth behind pride. Simpler. If you are hurt, express it with respect. If you are grateful, say it while there is still time. If you love someone, do not assume they already know. Life is too short for unclear hearts. Many regrets come from words left unspoken. People wait too long to apologize, too long to appreciate, too long to explain, too long to say goodbye, and sometimes tomorrow never comes. Clear communication is not harsh communication. You can be direct and still be kind. You can be honest and still be gentle. Truth should not be used as a weapon. It should be used as a bridge. There is a difference between speaking with clarity and speaking with cruelty. One builds, the other breaks. Your tone matters as much as your words. The same sentence can feel like love or disrespect depending on how it is delivered. People may forget your exact words, but they will remember how your words made them feel. Even in faith, clarity matters. Simpler. A sincere prayer is not measured by perfect language. It is measured by sincerity. You do not need complicated words to be heard by the Creator. A truthful heart speaks clearly. Sometimes the most powerful prayer is simply, help me. Sometimes the strongest confession is, I was wrong. Sometimes the deepest faith is found in honest simplicity. The same principle applies to life. Stop trying to appear perfect. Be real. People connect with authenticity, not performance. In relationships, unclear communication creates pain. Assumptions grow. Misunderstandings multiply. Distance increases. One person thinks everything is fine. The other is silently breaking. One person waits for clarity. The other hides behind silence. And slowly what could have been fixed becomes broken. A simple, honest conversation could have saved it. Many friendships end not because of betrayal, but because of words never clarified. Many opportunities are lost not because of lack of talent, but because of poor communication. People cannot support what they do not understand. They cannot trust what feels uncertain. They cannot follow what lacks direction. Leaders who speak clearly inspire confidence. Parents who communicate clearly create security. Partners who express clearly build trust. Clarity creates peace. Complexity creates emotional exhaustion. Even with yourself, clarity matters. Be honest about your goals. Be honest about your weaknesses. Be honest about what needs to change. Self-deception is one of the most dangerous forms of confusion. You cannot improve a life you refuse to define. You cannot heal what you refuse to admit. Speak clearly to yourself first. Face truth without excuses. Growth begins there. If you want your words to matter, slow down. Think before speaking. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it respectful? Not every thought deserves a voice. Simpler. Discipline in speech is wisdom. Some people talk endlessly and say nothing. Others speak briefly and leave lasting impact. Choose substance over noise. Choose purpose over performance. Because your words are seeds. What you plant in people's hearts will grow. Plant peace. Plant courage. Plant truth. Plant hope. Speak in a way that leaves clarity, not confusion. Because in the end, people are not changed by complicated speeches. They are changed by simple truths spoken with sincerity. Many people are waiting for confidence to appear like magic. They believe one day they will wake up fearless, certain, and ready. But confidence does not arrive first. Preparation comes first. Confidence is not a gift. It is a result. It is built quietly, behind the scenes, long before anyone sees the outcome. The student who walks into the exam room with peace is not lucky. They prepared. The speaker who stands on stage without fear is not naturally fearless. They practiced. Simpler. The person who handles life's storms with calm strength did not suddenly become strong. They were shaped through discipline, patience, and repeated effort. People often admire confidence, but they ignore the preparation that created it. They want the reward without the routine. They want the result without the repetition. But life does not work that way. You cannot expect certainty from a mind you have neglected. You cannot expect peace from a life built on delay. Preparation is respect for your future. It is telling yourself, I care enough about tomorrow to work today. Every time you study instead of procrastinating, you are building confidence. Every time you practice instead of making excuses, you are building confidence. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are preparing strength. Fear often grows in empty spaces. When you are unprepared, your mind fills with doubt. What if I fail? What if I forget? What if I embarrass myself? Simpler. But preparation answers fear with evidence. I studied. I practiced. I gave my best. That is where real confidence lives. Not in pretending to be strong, but in knowing you did the work. Even in faith, preparation matters. You pray for opportunities, but are you preparing for them? You ask for success, but are your habits ready to hold it? You ask for change, but are your actions proving your sincerity? Faith without effort becomes wishful thinking. Prayer should walk beside discipline. Hope should be supported by action. Trusting the process does not mean sitting still. It means working while believing. Many people ask for a better life, but keep repeating the same careless routines. Preparation requires sacrifice, late nights, early mornings, silent effort no one applauds, say no to distractions, choosing long-term reward over short-term comfort. That is where character is built. Nobody claps for preparation. Nobody celebrates your private discipline. Simpler. But those quiet moments create public victories. The world sees the success. Only you know the struggle behind it. That is why preparation also builds self-respect. Because deep inside, you know whether you truly tried. You know whether your confidence is real or just a performance hiding insecurity. And your soul always knows the truth. Sometimes people say, I am not confident enough. But often what they really mean is, I have not prepared enough. Confidence grows when excuses shrink. You do not need to feel ready to begin. You begin, and readiness follows. Too many people wait for perfect motivation, but action creates motivation. Discipline creates momentum. Preparation creates belief. Start before you feel ready, because readiness is often born in movement. In relationships, preparation matters too. Preparing your words before difficult conversations. Preparing patience before entering conflict. Preparing understanding before making judgment. Simpler. Not every battle should be fought with immediate reaction. Sometimes wisdom is found in pause. Sometimes strength is preparing your response instead of surrendering to emotion. Preparation protects peace. It helps you respond with maturity instead of regret. A careless moment can damage trust. A prepared heart can preserve it. Parents prepare for children. Leaders prepare for responsibility. Builders prepare foundations before building walls. Because without preparation, everything eventually collapses. Your future deserves preparation. Your dreams deserve preparation. Your family deserves preparation. Your purpose deserves preparation. Do not insult your potential by feeding it laziness. Do not ask life for results your habits are refusing to support. Prepare your mind, prepare your skills, prepare your character, prepare your spirit, because success is rarely sudden. It is usually prepared in silence. And one day people will call you lucky. Simpler. They will say, you make it look easy. They will see the confidence, the calm, the strength, but they will not see the nights you kept going when no one noticed. They will not see the prayers whispered in private. They will not see the discipline that shaped your courage. And that is fine, because true confidence does not need applause. It only needs truth, the truth that you were ready because you chose to prepare. And when your moment arrives, you will not need to pretend. You will stand there with quiet certainty, not because fear disappeared, but because preparation made you stronger than fear. Before you say a single word, people have already formed an impression of you. Before your voice is heard, your presence has already spoken. Your posture speaks. Your eyes speak. Your face speaks. Your energy speaks. This is the silent language people feel before they understand your words. Body language speaks first. Simpler. Many people focus only on what to say, but forget that communication begins long before words. You can say, I'm confident, while your shoulders carry doubt. You can say, I'm fine, while your eyes reveal exhaustion. You can say, I care, while your attention tells a different story. People do not only listen with their ears, they listen with their eyes. And often they believe what they see more than what they hear. Confidence is not always loud. Sometimes confidence is calm. It is standing with peace instead of restlessness. It is eye contact without arrogance. It is stillness without fear. It is a presence that says, I know who I am, without needing to announce it. The way you walk into a room matters. Are you entering with purpose or with apology? Many people shrink themselves before life even tests them. They lower their voice, avoid eye contact, hide their ideas, apologize for their existence. Simpler. Not because they are weak, but because somewhere along the way, they forgot their own worth. Your body often reveals the beliefs your mouth tries to hide. If you constantly carry yourself like you are not enough, people feel it. But when you stand with self-respect, without pride and without fear, people feel that too. Body language is deeply connected to self-image. How you carry yourself reflects how you see yourself. If you do not respect yourself, your posture will confess it. If you are living in constant fear of judgment, your body will show the tension. That is why inner work matters. Confidence outside begins with healing inside. Even in faith, posture reflects the heart. Humility is seen. Patience is seen. Respect is seen. Arrogance is seen too. Sometimes the loudest pride exists in silence. And sometimes the deepest sincerity is found in the quiet dignity of a person who walks with gratitude. The way you treat others physically also matters. Simpler. Do you look at people when they speak? Do you put your phone away when someone is sharing their pain? Do you offer your full presence or only partial attention? Respect is often communicated without words. A child remembers whether you looked at them. A parent remembers whether you stayed present. A friend remembers whether your face showed care. People may forget your advice, but they remember your presence. Presence is powerful. Sometimes someone does not need a speech. They need your calm beside their chaos. They need your silence beside their tears. They need your eyes to say, "You are not alone." That is body language too. Your energy enters rooms before your words do. If you carry anger everywhere, people feel heaviness. If you carry peace, people feel safety. If you carry insecurity, people feel uncertainty. Your spirit leaks through your body language. This is why emotional discipline matters. Unhealed pain often speaks through attitude. Simpler. Bitterness hides in expressions. Pride hides in posture. Fear hides in movement. And love reveals itself in gentleness. Your body is always telling your truth. Be careful what story it tells. Strong communication also requires boundaries. Sometimes body language must say no before your mouth does, stepping back from disrespect, holding eye contact with dignity, refusing to shrink in places that constantly dishonor you. Not every boundary needs an argument. Sometimes your silence, your distance, your posture, they say enough. Strength is not aggression. It is self-respect, and self-respect is visible. When you respect yourself, you stop begging for validation. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. Your calm becomes your answer. Your peace becomes your statement. Your body language says, "I know my value," and that changes everything. Even leaders understand this. People follow certainty. Simpler, not perfection certainty. A leader who speaks with steady presence creates trust. A parent who remains calm during storms creates safety. A partner who listens with full attention creates intimacy. Words matter, but presence often matters more. If your body language and your words are in conflict, people believe your body. So align them. Let your posture match your purpose. Let your eyes reflect honesty. Let your tone carry peace. Let your presence represent integrity. Do not perform confidence. Build it. Do not fake strength. Develop it, because true presence cannot be copied. It is earned through self-awareness, discipline, and quiet growth. And remember this, you are always communicating, even in silence. So stand with purpose. Walk with dignity. Look people in the eye. Carry yourself like someone who knows life is a gift and self-respect is a responsibility. Simpler. Because before you speak to the world, your body has already introduced you. Most conversations are not destroyed by words. They are destroyed by emotions. Anger speaks too fast. Pride refuses to listen. Ego demands to win. Frustration turns small misunderstandings into permanent distance. And suddenly a conversation that could have brought healing becomes a battlefield of regret. This is why emotional control is not weakness. It is strength. Real strength is not raising your voice. It is lowering your ego. It is staying calm when your emotions are begging for chaos. It is choosing wisdom over reaction. Anyone can react. Maturity is in the response. Many people believe that speaking immediately proves confidence. Sometimes silence is the highest form of intelligence. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause. Take a breath. Step back. Refuse to let one emotional moment create a lifelong wound. Simpler. Because words spoken in anger may leave your mouth quickly, but they stay in someone's heart for years. A careless sentence can break trust. A harsh tone can damage love. An uncontrolled reaction can destroy what took years to build. And often, regret arrives after the emotion has already passed. That is the tragedy. In the moment, anger feels powerful. Later, it feels expensive. Many people lose good relationships not because love disappeared, but because emotional discipline was missing. They spoke from pain instead of understanding. They fought to be right instead of fighting to protect the relationship. They let temporary emotions make permanent decisions, and then they wonder why peace left. Control begins with awareness. You must learn to recognize your emotional triggers. What makes you lose patience? What wounds make you defensive? What insecurities turn into aggression? Healing begins when honesty enters. Simpler. Because if you do not understand your emotions will manage your life for you, and they are poor leaders. Even in faith, emotional control is deeply connected to character. Patience is not passive. It is powerful. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is discipline. Restraint is not silence from fear. It is silence from wisdom. There are moments when your heart wants revenge, but your soul knows peace is better. There are moments when pride wants the final word, but humility chooses dignity. There are moments when anger screams, but faith whispers, be still. That whisper saves lives. Sometimes the greatest battle is not with another person. It is within yourself, the battle between ego and humility, between reaction and reflection, between revenge and mercy. That battle determines the quality of your relationships. Not every issue deserves immediate confrontation. Timing matters. Truth spoken at the wrong time can feel like attack. Simpler. Correction without compassion feels like humiliation. Sometimes people do not need your argument. They need your understanding. This does not mean suppressing your emotions. It means managing them. There is a difference. You are allowed to feel anger. You are allowed to feel hurt. You are allowed to feel disappointment. But feelings should inform your actions, not control them. Emotion is a signal, not a steering wheel. Let it teach you, not drive you. In families, emotional control is everything. Children remember the tone more than the lesson. A spouse remembers the disrespect more than the disagreement. Parents remember the distance created by careless reactions. One moment of uncontrolled anger can leave emotional scars that apologies struggle to heal. This is why calmness is leadership. The calm person protects the room. The calm person prevents escalation. The calm person becomes safety in the middle of tension. That is real power. Simpler. Before difficult conversations, prepare your heart first. Ask yourself, am I trying to solve this or am I trying to win? Am I speaking from love or from wounded pride? Am I protecting truth or protecting my ego? These questions reveal everything because many arguments are not about the issue. They are about identity. People feel disrespected, ignored, unseen, unappreciated, and pain often disguises itself as anger. Learn to look deeper. Sometimes someone's harshness is hidden hurt. Sometimes someone's silence is hidden disappointment. Sometimes your own reaction is coming from an old wound, not the present moment. Wisdom listens beneath behavior. This is where compassion enters. Not excusing wrong, but understanding humanity. People are carrying battles you cannot see. Stress, fear, loss, private pain. Your patience may be the mercy they needed that day. Your calm may stop a cycle of pain. Your restraint may protect something sacred. Simpler. Never underestimate the power of one peaceful response. It can save a friendship, restore a marriage, protect a family, preserve your own dignity. Because not every victory is loud. Sometimes victory is walking away from unnecessary conflict. Sometimes victory is apologizing first. Sometimes victory is choosing peace when pride demanded war. That takes strength, and strength is often quiet. Remember this, you are responsible for your energy. Do not let temporary emotion turn you into someone you would not respect tomorrow. Guard your tongue, guard your tone, guard your reactions. Because once words leave, they do not return the same way. You can apologize, but scars remember. So before the conversation begins, master yourself, because the person who controls their emotions controls their future, and the person who cannot will keep rebuilding what anger keeps destroying. Most people enter conversations trying to give the right answers. Simpler. They want to sound smart. They want to be impressive. They want to prove their value. But strong communication is not built on having all the answers. It is built on asking better questions. Because questions create connection. Answers can end a conversation. Questions open one. When you ask the right question, you invite honesty. You create trust. You tell the other person, I care enough to understand your world. And in a world full of people waiting to speak, the person who asks with sincerity becomes unforgettable. Many relationships stay shallow because the questions stay shallow. How are you? I'm fine. And the conversation ends there. But people are carrying stories far deeper than fine. They are carrying silent struggles, private fears, unspoken dreams, and emotional battles no one notices. A better question reaches deeper. What has been heavy on your heart lately? What are you pretending not to feel? What are you praying for these days? Simpler. What are you afraid to admit? These are not ordinary questions. These are doors. And when asked with respect, they allow people to feel safe enough to walk through. Questions are not just tools for conversation. They are acts of compassion. They say, I see you beyond the surface. That matters. Because many people do not need advice first. They need understanding first. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is not your solution, it is your curiosity. People open up where they feel safe, not where they feel judged. This is why tone matters. A question asked with pride feels like interrogation. A question asked with humility feels like care. The words may be the same, but the spirit changes everything. Ask to understand, not to control. Ask to connect, not to expose. Ask with gentleness, because truth grows best in safe spaces. Even in faith, reflection begins with questions. Not every question is doubt. Simpler. Sometimes questions are the beginning of wisdom. Who am I becoming? Am I living with integrity? Have I been grateful or only demanding? Am I asking for guidance or only asking for comfort? These are powerful questions. They force honesty, and honesty is where transformation begins. A person who never questions themselves often repeats the same mistakes. Growth requires reflection, and reflection begins with asking. In families, better questions create healing. Instead of saying, "Why are you always like this?" ask, "What are you going through?" Instead of, "Why didn't you tell me?" ask, "Did I make you feel safe enough to tell me?" That changes everything, because blame closes hearts. Understanding opens them. Children need questions that build trust. Spouses need questions that protect intimacy. Parents need questions that create respect. Friendships survive where curiosity is stronger than assumption. Assumptions destroy peace. Questions protect it. Simpler. Many conflicts are born from stories we create in our own minds. They do not care. They meant to hurt me. They are against me. But often we are reacting to assumptions, not truth. A simple question can save months of resentment. What did you mean by that? Did I misunderstand? Can we talk honestly? These small questions prevent big damage. Wise people clarify. Proud people assume. Choose wisdom. Better questions also improve leadership. A leader who only gives orders creates distance. A leader who asks, "How can I help?" creates loyalty. A parent who asks, "What do you need from me?" creates security. A friend who asks, "How can I support you right now?" creates trust. Questions reveal emotional intelligence. They show maturity, because mature people know life is not about dominating conversations. It is about building understanding, and understanding requires curiosity. Sometimes the right question can change a life. One teacher asking, "Do you know how capable you are?" One friend asking, "Are you really okay?" One mentor asking, "What are you doing with your potential?" One parent asking, "Do you know how loved you are?" Some questions stay in the heart for years. They awaken something, they heal something, they challenge something. Never underestimate the power of one sincere question. Even with yourself, your questions shape your future. Ask yourself daily, am I becoming someone I respect? Am I speaking with kindness? Am I wasting my time or investing it? Am I blaming life or taking responsibility? Am I growing or only staying busy? The quality of your life is often hidden in the quality of your questions. Poor questions create excuses. Powerful questions create change. And remember, not everyone needs your advice. Sometimes they need your attention. Sometimes they need your patience. Sometimes they need your question. Simpler. A question that says, "I want to know the real you." That is where connection begins. That is where trust grows. That is where hearts open. Because people may forget your perfect answers, but they never forget the person who asked the question that made them feel truly seen. Communication is not built in one conversation. It is built in repetition. It is built in the small daily moments, the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you respond, the way you show up. Consistency creates powerful communication. Many people want strong relationships, but they communicate only when there is a problem. They wait until frustration becomes anger, until silence becomes distance, until misunderstanding becomes damage. But strong communication is not emergency repair. It is daily maintenance. Trust is not built by one big speech. It is built by repeated honesty. Respect is not created by one apology. It is built by consistent behavior. Simpler. Love is not proven by one emotional moment. It is proven by reliable presence. People do not trust words alone. They trust patterns. If your words say one thing but your actions repeat another, people believe your actions. You can say, "I care," but if you are never present, the message changes. You can say, "I respect you," but if your tone carries disrespect, the truth becomes visible. You can say, "I will change," but without consistency, it sounds like another temporary promise. This is why discipline matters. Communication is not only emotional, it is behavioral. It is choosing patience repeatedly, choosing honesty repeatedly, choosing respect repeatedly, choosing calmness repeatedly. One good conversation cannot erase 100 careless ones. Character speaks louder over time, and time reveals truth. Even in faith, consistency matters more than occasional intensity. A person is not defined by one inspired moment. They are shaped by repeated choices. Simpler, daily gratitude, daily patience, daily self-control, daily sincerity. It is easy to be good for one day. It is powerful to remain good when life becomes difficult. Consistency is where real character lives. Anyone can speak beautifully when emotions are high. But who are you when stress arrives? Who are you when disappointment enters? Who are you when nobody is watching? That is communication too, because your private habits shape your public voice. In families, consistency creates emotional safety. A child feels secure when love is consistent, not perfect consistent. A spouse feels peace when respect is reliable, not dramatic, reliable. Parents are remembered not only for advice, but for emotional presence. Friendships survive where trust is repeated. People feel safe with consistency. Unpredictable behavior creates emotional fear. Today, kindness. Tomorrow, coldness. Today, promises. Tomorrow, silence. This creates confusion. Simpler. And confusion slowly destroys connection. People should not have to guess your character. Your consistency should answer for you. This also applies to self-communication. How do you speak to yourself every day? Do you constantly insult your own worth? Do you repeat doubt until it becomes identity? Do you speak failure into your future before life even begins? Your inner voice matters, because the conversation inside you shapes the confidence outside you. Consistent negative self-talk creates silent destruction. Consistent truth creates strength. Speak to yourself with honesty, but also with mercy. Growth needs discipline, not self-hatred. Powerful communication begins within. Leaders understand this deeply. People do not follow occasional inspiration. They follow dependable character. A leader who is calm only sometimes creates uncertainty. A leader who is trustworthy repeatedly creates loyalty. Consistency is leadership. It tells people you can rely on me. That sentence changes relationships. Reliability creates peace. People relax around consistency. They stop defending themselves. They stop preparing for disappointment. They begin to trust. And trust is the strongest form of influence. Sometimes people ask, why are my relationships weak? Often the answer is not lack of love. It is lack of consistency. Good intentions without repeated action create frustration. Promises without discipline create disappointment. Words without follow-through create distance. Love needs proof. Respect needs proof. Change needs proof. And proof is consistency. Do not try to fix everything with one emotional conversation. Build it daily. Check on people before they feel forgotten. Apologize before pride grows stronger. Speak appreciation before regret arrives. Show up before distance becomes normal. These small, repeated actions become powerful over time, because life is not changed by rare intensity. Simpler. It is changed by repeated intention. And remember this, people may forgive mistakes, but they trust consistency. They watch what repeats. They remember what remains. They believe what is sustained. So if you want powerful communication, do not focus only on speaking better. Focus on becoming consistent. Let your kindness be consistent. Let your honesty be consistent. Let your peace be consistent. Let your character be consistent, because your voice becomes powerful when your life keeps proving your words. And in the end, the strongest communication is not what you say once, it is what your consistency says every single day. #hook, introductory part. Have you ever noticed that the way you speak can open doors or quietly close them? Your words can build trust, create opportunities, inspire people, and even change your future. But poor communication? It creates misunderstanding, distance, missed chances, and regret. The truth is, success is not only about what you know, it is also about how clearly you can express it. People who communicate well don't just talk better, they live better, because confidence begins with clarity. And today, we're going to talk about something that can transform your relationships, your career, and your self-respect, how to improve communication skills. Because when you learn to speak with purpose, people start listening differently. #7 Keynotes 1. Learn to listen before you speak. 2. Speak with clarity, not complexity. 3. Confidence comes from preparation. 4. Body language speaks first. 5. Control emotions before conversations. 6. Ask better questions to build better connections. 7. Consistency creates powerful communication. Full motivational script communication is not just talking. It is understanding. It is connecting. It is influence. Many people think communication means speaking more. Number. Simpler. The best communicators are often the best listeners, because people don't want to feel impressed first. They want to feel understood. If you want stronger communication skills, start by listening. Listen without preparing your next answer. Listen without interrupting. Listen with the intention to understand, not just reply. When people feel heard, they trust you. And trust is the foundation of every strong relationship. The second key is clarity. Do not try to sound important. Try to be understood. Simple words are powerful words. Confused people create confused results. Clear communication creates confidence. If your message is simple, people remember it. If your message is complicated, people forget it. Speak to connect, not to impress. The third key is preparation. Confidence is not magic. It is preparation. Most people fear speaking because they are unprepared. They hope confidence will arrive by itself. It won't. Preparation creates confidence. Simpler. Know your point. Understand your message. Practice your words. Even a short conversation deserves intention. When your mind is clear, your voice becomes stronger. The fourth key is body language. Before you speak, your body has already introduced you. Your posture, your eye contact, your facial expression, your energy. People listen with their eyes before they listen with their ears. Stand with confidence. Maintain calm eye contact. Speak with calm energy. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. Presence is stronger than volume. The fifth key is emotional control. Many conversations are destroyed, not by words, but by emotions, anger, ego, frustration, impatience. If you cannot control your emotions will control your communication. Pause before reacting. Silence is often wiser than immediate response. Maturity is not speaking faster. It is responding better. Strong people stay calm because calmness gives power to your words. Simpler. The sixth key is asking better questions. Great communicators do not dominate conversations. They guide them. Questions create connection. Instead of trying to always have the right answers, learn to ask the right questions. How can I help? What do you think? What matters most to you? Questions show respect, and respect creates influence. People remember how you made them feel. The seventh key is consistency. Communication is a skill, and every skill improves with practice. You do not become better by reading once. You become better by applying daily. Speak with kindness. Practice confidence. Improve your listening. Control your tone. Every day is training. Small improvements create powerful transformation. Remember this, your words shape your reputation. The way you speak affects your opportunities, your leadership, your friendships, your future. A careless word can break trust. A wise word can build a lifetime connection. Communication is leadership. Simpler. And leadership begins with self-discipline. Speak less, but speak better. Listen more, but listen deeply. Do not chase attention. Build respect, because people may forget your title, but they will never forget how your words made them feel. Improve your communication and you improve your life, because your voice is not just sound, it is your identity. Use it wisely. # closing message. Your communication is your personal signature. It tells people who you are before your results do. So choose your words carefully. Strengthen your listening. Control your emotions. Speak with clarity and purpose. Because better communication creates better relationships, better opportunities, and a better future. Your life changes when your words change. Start today. Speak with intention. Listen with respect. And let your voice become a tool for growth, not regret.